Hey ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Today we're going to be talking about cavalry combinations, and more specifically I had a request on the channel after I did my best cavalry combinations video from a subscriber who wanted to know basically what combinations could you use to run 4 cavalry legions at the same time. Now I kind of want to look at this from the point of view that, a lot of players in the game are not going to they're not super spenders, they're free to play, they're not going to be generating lots of copies of Season Heroes or SX Heroes. Most of us, by the time we get to SX, you will be able to easily run 4 cavalry legions. I can do it. I can run 5 cavalry legions. Yeah, I can run 5 cavalry legions with all the heroes I've got. I actually even just got rid of Rogue this week because I've got 10 S or SX Cav Heroes. So I'm kind of more looking at aiming this video towards the players who are in S1. Maybe you're looking to run like 3 Cav Legions, and then progressing on to S2, S3, where you'd want to maybe run 4. Obviously, something to think about is if you're going to run 4, you're going to need the gear for 4 for them to be really effective. That's going to be super hard to get. I mean, even now, I've only produced 3 gold sets of Cav gear, and I've been playing the game for nearly a year and a half. So that's something maybe you want to consider. You're not going to get the top level of performance from those legions because you just won't be able to produce the gear for them. Well, if you're smart with your gambling, maybe you can, but the way that I've done it, I've only been able to get 3 sets of gold gear so far. But right off the bat, I do want to I will kind of cover what would be your top 4 legions, say once you were getting into S3, and quite simply, that would be the 3 S3 Cav Heroes. So that is Warlord, front row, Roku, middle row, and then Living Saint, back row. That would be 1 legion. Probably Legion 1, actually. Your class legion would be the good old Beast Queen S2, Rosenblade S3, and then, of course, the Immortal S2 on your back row. So that would be your second, well, that would be your class legion, actually. Third legion, if you had all the heroes, you could then use the 3 S1 heroes. So you could have Ebony Knight on your front row, Bulwark middle row, Lionheart back row. So that would be all of the S hero Cav heroes that you can collect from S1 to 3. And then lastly, with just using normal orange, you would use, in my opinion, you would use Orochi, then Rogue, and then Heaven's Justice, purely because, again, I just kind of slightly like that combo. The other combo that you might want to use is the North Rage, Dual Blades, then Hurricane, or... No, you wouldn't, because you'd still want to use Rogue. So you might want to put North Rage on your front row instead of Orochi. That might be an idea. But those would be the 4 top legions you could run if you had all the heroes at that stage in the game. Now let's rewind a bit and think about for those players that don't have so many. So I actually don't have Rough Rider, Rogue, or Yamaraja now in my account because I cut them for the resources to put into other heroes. So I've kind of put a little something together, but it's not exactly how I'd want it. So let's think about maybe you only have a few SX heroes, S heroes in your account. So what heroes could you use to put together 4 cavalry legions? Well, if you just look initially at the normal orange heroes, you could do, as I've said, you could do a Orochi, Rogue, Heaven's Justice. Then you could do a North Rage, Dual Blades, Hurricane Legion. That leaves us from the normal orange with Rough Rider and Yamaraja. So you could put Rough Rider on your front row. He has extra HP on his 6th skill. He has resistance on his 7th skill. So he is quite tanky, suitable for those front row defensive element. Yamaraja, he has extra might, so he is quite punchy in his attack. He's got weird skill range, like combat skill 2, combat skill 5. So you could, in theory, put him on the back row, but you're going to be missing out on his range 2 skill if you put him on the back row. So that would just be like one consideration for you. And then you're going to need an S hero after this point, unless you're going to, if you're looking to survive on purple heroes, which I wouldn't advise. So S heroes, say if you do have we've gone through all of those 8 orange heroes and we put them like that, then you'd need a back row S hero. So that's going to be either Lionheart S1, the Immortal S2, or Living Saint S3. And then you could put together a 3rd Legion with S heroes. As I've said, pretty much, the only 2 that really don't work together are Rosenblade and Living Saint, because Rosenblade, as I've said before, Rosenblade's skills there, some of them are buffing basic attacks, but Living Saint's 8th skill stops her troops from basic attacking, so they do not synergize well. Other than that, you could have Ebony Knight on a front row, you could have Beast Queen on the front row, Warlord on the front row. If you're in S4, you can put Brave on the front row. You can actually now put Brave on the middle row as well, because his skill ranges have been amended. Something that you might not have seen in, I think it was probably the latest update. This did happen to the corresponding hero in LSS as well. So if we take his 8th skill, Tundra Soul, this was previously an effective range of 3. Because it debuffs the opponent so much, and it targets all 3 enemy squads, you really wanted to put him on your front row. Now that he has this effective range of 4, it opens it up that you could put him on the front or middle row. So he does, and again, he's kind of got this support element where he is debuffing, but he's not doing any damage. That would be my only consideration with him. You might want to put him with another hero. You'd need a front row hero doing you some damage. So yeah, I mean, you can get if you have 4 say if you get to S3 and you have managed to pick up 4 Cavalry S heroes, as long as 2 of them aren't Rosenblade and Living Saint, you'll be able to put together, definitely be able to. Oh no, well, even if you've got Living Saint, you could put Living Saint in that 3rd combo I talked about. So you could have Rough Rider, then Yamaraja and Living Saint as your back row hero, and then you could do something like I've got right here, which is Bulwark, who isn't ideal on the front row, but if you had to, you could put her there, and then Rose and Lionheart, or you could of course have Beast Queen, Rose and Lionheart. If you're in S4, you could have Brave, Rose and Lionheart, or obviously, like I say, the meta combo that is Beast Queen, Rose and Immortal. So you've got some options, guys. That's what I would say to you. I hope you found this video helpful. I have tried to angle it more at you guys that are in the first 6 to 9 months of the game, where you've got access to S1 to S3 heroes. By the time we get to SX, we're getting Cav Heroes thrown at us everywhere. You look at my list. I've got Son of Ragmar, I've got Lawman, Army Breaker, Avalanche, Windwalker. All of these are Cav SX heroes. I haven't completed all of them yet, but I'm nearly there. So, they do change. That then, of course, would change how you're set up. But you should know by once you've been in the game for over 12 months and you're in Eden, you should have a pretty good idea of combinations, etc. by that point. Plus, you know, my other video kind of covers all of that. So that's everything I wanted to do in this video. I hope for those of you that are newer to the game, you found it helpful and it's given you something to think about. And for those of you that might want to run multiple cavalry combinations, it's given you an idea of what you can do. And you know, just a quick point on those S heroes. If you do want an S hero, is only going to be as good as a fully maxed orange hero. Really, once you've maxed skills 1 to 6 and 8, you can get away with not having skill 7 on maybe 1 or 2 heroes in a legion. But if you don't have, if all 3 S heroes don't have that 7th skill, you can be missing out on. Well, you're missing out on 120% of might and resistance for that combination, and that will make a big difference. So that is something to think about when you're actually starting to use your S heroes as well. I see some people even do duels, and they've got an S hero in there, and they haven't even unlocked more than skills 1 to 5. You know, if you have an S hero and if you haven't unlocked skills 6, 7, or 8, they're probably not actually going to be benefiting you as much as a normal orange hero. So it's always something to think about as well. Anyway, that is definitely it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do pop a like down below. If you've got any comments about other combinations you feel like you could use, or maybe you'd like me to do a different video on a similar subject, then please do you know, put something down there for me to have a look at. And if this is the first video you're watching, or maybe you haven't done it yet anyway, please do click on that subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notifications of when I'm dropping videos on the channel. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That's it for now. I'll see you soon.